only when people struggle to make a decision, they see it as a struggle. But look at reality, see that, okay, this is the situation. And if you take a decision and then you keep moving on forward from there. And you need to follow with that commitment. If you don't follow through with that commitment, you will lose self-respect. I don't have a direct control over it, but I have an indirect control over it. As long as I keep nurturing my audience through content, then that personal brand will build over time.
That's great. I must say, I also need to follow this in my journey so far. The last and final question for you is what's that one piece of advice you would like to give to those solopreneurs or entrepreneurs at my age should follow if you are there in their stage?
As I said, have a daily discipline routine, write every day, and
Hello everyone. So today in this podcast, we have invited to India's #1 leading digital marketing coach, mentor, and a mastermind entrepreneur who is none other than Deepak Kanakaraju, also a brand name called as Digital Deepak. So Deepak has its own incredible personal brand, as we all know, and he had already guided countless entrepreneurs in his journey so far. But today we are not talking about any marketing strategies or tactics, but we may touch some of you. For now, we are diving deep into the field of leadership, entrepreneurship, and for those solopreneurs like us, right? So let's start this podcast without any further ado. So hey Deepak, how are you?
thanks man for inviting me for this podcast. I am great. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. I'm quite nervous. So my first question is to you about your earliest struggle so far, right? So Deepak, you have incredible success stories in your niche. So you have started with somewhere, right? So can you share your story about a time you faced a major challenge on a phase of when you are a younger entrepreneur so far? How you overcome it? What was your journey and how you started digital marketing and all?
I think I have never seen it as a struggle. Maybe because I just saw reality as it was reality. I started my journey with a motorcycle blog. I started that in 2008. By 2011, it was getting 1 million page views a month. It was growing very rapidly. But by 2012 also, it was only getting 1 million page views a month. It had not grown from 2011. So I decided that I might have to move on because the competition started increasing and I also started getting bored doing the business. I did not see that business possibly growing into $1 billion brand. So I sold the blog and I worked in corporate from 2013 to 2017 in different companies as a digital marketing manager to learn as much as possible about the business world and about entrepreneurship, about startups. So to gain a lot of experience, I moved on. So when I was faced with this challenge that I have to sell the blog and move on, then that's when I just made a decision. So only when people struggle to make a decision, they see it as a struggle. But look at reality, see that, okay, this is the situation. And if you take a decision and then you keep moving on forward from there. That's the way I see it.
Wow, that's a real struggle, I must say. Every entrepreneur or solopreneur like me should also focus, follow with a loop to overcome it. I think for me, you are not just a mentor, you are not just a simple coach, you are not just a digital marketer, but for me, you are just a great leader and you become my idol so far when I joined DDIP as well. Because the one video that changed my perspective was the mindset video. It was a very long format video, but that was something that changed my point of view towards learning something very interesting about digital marketing and all. So how you transform your journey from a digital marketer to becoming a coach to becoming a mentor, then there is no ending and also there is no pending where you are just updating yourself with each and every trend. So you are just a great leader so far right now. So can you share about something related to leadership? We often think a leadership is very big in terms of creating a good team or a large team. But how can a solopreneur should cultivate a strong leadership skills to manage themselves effectively and achieve their goals as well?
So when you say leadership, there are many different definitions of how people look at the term leadership and how it is perceived. I would say that leadership starts with leading yourself first. So you have certain thoughts. Let's say you have certain desires and dreams that you want to achieve a certain level in your business. The dreams without any action plan is just going to be like a fantasy. It's just wishful thinking. So if the dream have to become reality, then you have to work towards it. And working towards it does not come with one day you just feel inspired and you work. But next day, what if you are not feeling inspired? You still have to work. So discipline needs inspiration for breakfast, right? So inspiration comes in spurts. comes in different points and it's not very consistent. You read a book, you feel inspired. Yes, you have to keep getting inspired, but at the same time, you have to develop very good discipline. So that includes like a daily morning routine. It could be a workout routine, waking up at a particular point in time. Let's say you want to wake up at 6 a.m. That's a commitment that you are making to yourself. And you need to follow with that commitment. If you don't follow through with that commitment, you will lose self-respect. Just like if you are meeting a friend and the friend says that, hey, let's meet 8 o'clock on Saturday for dinner. So at 8 o'clock on Saturday, he is not showing up and he is not also picking up the call. And then after Sunday morning, he is calling and saying that, hey, I forgot all about it. I'm sorry. And the same thing he does next week. What will happen? You will lose respect towards him. So similarly, if you are making a commitment to yourself and if you are not keeping up that commitment, you will lose self-respect. So whatever discipline that you want to follow through, keep up those commitments and lead yourself first. And once you are productive, disciplined and putting in a lot of hard work, some results will start coming. Once the results start coming, then you start making a little bit more revenue. You pay yourself and you create some savings for yourself, some future security for the uncertainties in the business. And after that, you can start building a team. Once you start building a team, people will look at your work ethic and they will start following you. And that is how you have to become a leader.
That's great. I must say, I also need to follow this in my journey so far. And yeah, my viewers should also follow this in terms of leadership. Not just because it's required, but to become a better leader in life, we need to follow, right? So Deepak, we all know that you have a very specific brand called as a Digital Deepak, and you already built up a very phenomenal brand. So what are some key strategies that you have followed as a solopreneur, or you just want to share some strategies that make someone as a unique voice in online landscape as well?
In terms of personal branding and creating a strong personal brand, it kind of happens indirectly. There is no direct way to build a personal brand, because personal brand basically means that people have a certain perception of you in their mind. So today you might think certain things about Digital Deepak. I don't have a direct control over it, but I have an indirect control over it. As long as I keep nurturing my audience through content, then that personal brand will build over time. Like for example, if you are meeting somebody new and let's say you are meeting a girl and you are wanting to date her and build a relationship with her. Maybe after 6 months, 1 year or 2 year of relationship, maybe you can tell her that, hey, I want to marry you, right? So you cannot ask for a transaction without the relationship forming first. And how does the relationship form? Relationship forms with a lot of communications and interaction. So there are people on my email list who have been following me for the past 6 years, 7 years, and there will be some points of interaction that I would have had with them as well, either on a webinar or through an email reply or something like that. So when you have a lot of content that is being delivered to your audience, which creates a lot of value in their life, and they feel like, hey, this content is of value, they pay the attention, and the attention is converted into trust. And then eventually you convert the trust into a deeper transaction as well. Like you sell them something, like for example, you bought the internship program, then you had a deeper level of engagement. Now that internship program helped you with your career, and then it helped you positively, and then you tell other people about it. So a brand is basically what people talk about you when you are not in the room. So that is brand, but there is no direct control over it. There is only indirect control over it. So that is only developed through value addition to people's lives.
Oh, that's really great. Basically, I genuinely follow the KIT funnel like you made on internship program, right? About the demarketing funnel and KIT and OSTR. OSTR is implemented.
CATT funnel.
Content, attention, trust, transaction.
Yes.
I made it something more different, like ATM.
Okay.
Attention, trust, then money.
Okay.
Once you build the attention, you build a separate trust with your content as well. And once you build a trust, you can ask money, because attention is all about a random solution that you are providing with any sorts of social media distribution system, and they put a trust with you just because you are helping something. And if they want any personalized solution, I ask them for money as well. That's how I made personally $100 with this remote YouTube marketing as well. So my fourth question is all about how you exactly balance your work, like how exactly you balance your daily life. Like, do you have any productive hacks, like about your daily routines, how you stay so focused and energized at a daily basis in terms of your content writing? Because every time I used to open my mail, I have to read any article that you have published, or like you shared an email newsletter, something about demarketing funnel, and something related to that.
So every day morning I write 1,000 words. That is my strict routine. And I keep reading books. I keep listening to podcasts. So there will be inspiration coming from different sources. But before that, you need a physical exercise routine as well. So I wake up around 6 a.m. I go for my swimming and gym. After that, I meditate for 30 minutes. And that is the start of my day. Because if your mind and body is not in a perfect state, then you can't be really productive. So in terms of the actual productivity, the first thing that I get it done is write 1,000 words and write consistently. So when you write a lot, then it gives you clarity of thinking. Clarity of thinking translates into clarity of your conversations as well. Like for example, in this podcast, if you're asking me a question, the flow of words that comes, the flow has definitely improved over the past 10 years, and it has improved because I write a lot. So that way, writing is a process of thinking. So that's what I would recommend anyone trying to build a personal brand for themselves or a business. They have to have a blog and they have to write every day. Even if you have a very small audience, keep writing for them, and eventually you will end up having like maybe 1 million subscribers.
Oh, that's a great dream for me as well. So, the last and final question for you is like, what's that one piece of advice you would like to give to those solopreneurs or entrepreneurs at my age should follow if you are there in their stage?
As I said, have a daily discipline routine, write every day, and don't be afraid of rejection. If you are trying to convert a client, you have to reach out to a lot of clients, and maybe some will convert. So you reach out to 100 people, 10 people will reply the mail, 2 people will get on a call with you, maybe one will convert. If one does not convert, then you reach out to another 100 clients and you improve your communication skill over a period of time. So keep moving the needle forward, because when you look at a goal that you might have to achieve 10 years later, 20 years later, it will become very stressful. So whatever output that you are getting in terms of your business and your entrepreneurship life, the output is not under your control. Only the input is under your control. So input means that whatever you are doing to get the output, which means writing a blog post, reaching out to a client, doing outreach, getting some work done, keep doing it for years and years, output will automatically come.
Oh, that's great. So, as many of my friends literally ask me for where to start about any internship related to digital marketing and all. And I was a big fan of yours because I don't like to follow such gurus who just ask money and just forget about anything. You are not such like that. Just because I follow up, I watch every emails and I read your articles as well. I love to get to watch your podcast videos as well with Raj Shavani's, with other entrepreneurs. But is there any other plans such you are launching in future so many of my friends can also get into this field and also learn so far about digital marketing or startup, because this is what leading in this future, right? And entrepreneurship is something that we should also focus on.
In terms of education, I have two major categories. One is digital marketing and one is startups. In digital marketing, I have two main products. One is the micro internship program, which teaches you basics of all the digital marketing concepts. And then we have something called Mastery Club, which is a collection of mastery courses in all the subjects. So in the internship program, people will learn everything in a single program. So 1 week will be Facebook ads, 1 week will be Google ads, 1 week will be SEO, 1 week will be email marketing, and so on. In the Mastery Club, we have different mastery courses for each of these subjects. Facebook ads alone will be a 10-week program. Google ads alone will be a 10-week program. So you go deep into one particular subject. So that's pretty much when it comes to the digital marketing category. When it comes to the startup category, we are launching a new product called Startup Launchpad, and it will have a membership along with it called Alpha Club. So that will be launched in 2025. So people can look forward to that.
That's great. I think after completing my graduation, I would also get focused on this startup industries as well. I don't want to be a job employee. So yeah, that's all for this podcast. And if someone wants to connect with you, so how they can connect with you by any LinkedIn or?
They can search for Deepak Kanakaraju on LinkedIn. Connect with me. I accept almost all the incoming connections, and they can send me a message on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepak, for this sharing such insightful podcast with us.
Thanks a lot,
And
man.
so let us know in the comment below what resonated with you the most. And if you like this podcast, don't forget to share your thoughts. And yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up as well. Bye bye.